Good afternoon. I'm Simon Olech with Franciscan Beat News. Here are your headlines for Friday, March 21st. In local news, the Jefferson County Joint Vocational School is in search of a new superintendent. The JVS School Board met on March 18th for a regular session, where President Steve Bazak III said that several applications were submitted to succeed Todd Phillipson, who plans to retire from his decades-long role at the end of the school year. Bazak noted that Friday was the cutoff date, and the board will have a personal committee meeting on Tuesday and look at all the interview questions, then set a time for the interviews. If all goes according to plan, the new superintendent will begin work on August 1st. Toronto, Ohio officials have been occupied about the city's utility aggregation programs this past week. At a March 10th meeting, the council heard from John Ney, owner of Rager Energy Corporation in Clinton, Ohio, to try and negotiate lower energy and natural gas costs. This comes after officials have received many questions and concerns about the program. Ney said that several factors are contributing to higher energy costs. The largest ones include supply and demand dynamics and the regulatory factor. He noted that there is greater demand for electricity due to the development of data centers and greater environmental regulation efforts, which have shut down coal-fired plants like the W.H. Sammis plant in Stratton. The new agreement is set for a 12-month term through March 2026. In national news, President Trump announced Friday that Boeing will build next-generation fighters for the United States Air Force. The Pentagon believes that these jets will have stealth and penetration capabilities that exceed those of its present-day fleet and are vital for national security. President Trump also stated that the plans cannot be shared with Elon Musk due to business interests. The detained Columbia University student activist, Mohamed Khalil, appeared in immigration court Friday in Louisiana to fight multiple issues regarding his arrest. Khalil is a 30-year-old legal U.S. resident with no criminal record, but helped lead large pro-Palestinian protests last year at Columbia University. His arrest is part of President Trump's crackdown on what he believes is anti-Semitic and anti-American campus protests. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has asserted that Khalil organized disruptive protests that harassed Jewish students and promoted pro-Hamas propaganda. The U.S. government is trying to deport Khalil under a statute that allows for removing non-citizens who pose potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States. The European Commission, headed by Ursula von der Leyen, stated that the European Union must prepare for the possibility of war with Russia. It claims that if Russia were to be successful in Ukraine, it would expand towards Central Europe by the year 2030. This comes after President Trump stated that the U.S. may no longer serve as Europe's guarantor of peace. The EC issued proposals 2 weeks earlier that include 150 billion euros in loans and allowances, part of which are to be used as direct aid to Ukraine. The French government announced that it is working on a survival manual in case this war was to break out. Sweden and Finland have taken similar actions as European politicians continue to emphasize the fear of a major war with Russia. Now let's take a look at our weather report. Today, we felt a high of 51 degrees and a low of 31 degrees with sunny skies. Tomorrow, the temperature will drop to a high of 47 degrees and then dip down to a low of 32 degrees with a 30% chance of rain. On Sunday, we're set to have a high of 49 degrees and a low of 27 degrees with a 45% chance of rain. Thank you for tuning in to this Franciscan Beat News Brief. We'll see you again next week. Good night and God bless.